Get on the ground now. The command, sharp and unforgiving, detonated the quiet of the high-end grocery store. The fluorescent lights of Fairfield Market in suburban North Haven suddenly felt blindingly harsh, illuminating the barrel of a service pistol aimed directly at Kira Vance's chest. Kira's hands shot up instantly, a half-empty box of artisanal pasta scattering across the polished linoleum floor. "Officer, there's been a colossal mistake," Kira said, her voice a low, steady alto, cutting through the rising panic of the Saturday afternoon shoppers. But Officer Dean Archer, young, white, and vibrating with an adrenaline-fueled fear that was far more dangerous than any weapon, was already beyond reason. "Shut up. Turn around. Hands behind your head," he screamed, his voice cracking. Shoppers scrambled, a child started wailing, and the bakery manager ducked behind a display. Kira, an attorney with a reputation for dismantling corrupt corporate structures, was not one to be easily subdued. She was an expert in high-stakes confrontations, and she knew exactly how this interaction would end if she let Archer control the narrative. This wasn't a stop. It was an execution of prejudice. Her mind was racing. No backup, no audible dispatch call, no probable cause. Archer's shaky hand and flushed face told her everything she needed to know about his lack of experience and overabundance of panic. That's when Kira made her move, not with her hands, but with an escalating declaration that would irrevocably shatter Archer's authority. "I suggest you call Deputy Chief Eleanor Shaw immediately," Kira stated, her voice now carrying the cold, quiet weight of absolute certainty. Archer scoffed, a nervous, bitter sound. "You think you know the Deputy Chief, lady? Try to name drop your way out of shoplifting bust." "Yes, I do," Kira replied, her eyes, dark, intelligent, and now alight with steel, never leaving the officer's face. "Eleanor Shaw is my best friend, and she's the woman who is about to end your entire career. You have 10 seconds to holster that weapon and call her yourself, or I will. And trust me, Officer Archer, you want to be the one to tell her about the felony you're committing." The casual drop of the chief's first name, the audacious confidence, and the clear threat of felony charge were enough to make Archer's hand twitch violently. He'd approached her because a well-dressed black woman moving with focused purpose through the pasta aisle of this affluent neighborhood store simply looked suspicious to him. Now, faced with a potential federal agent, or worse, a friend of the deputy chief, his flimsy justification crumbled to dust. "Keep your hands visible," he ordered, but the conviction had fled his voice, replaced by a desperate, trapped uncertainty. Kira slowly, deliberately retrieved her phone, holding it where every witness could see. She hit a speed dial. The phone rang once. "Eleanor, it's me," Kira said, her voice still perfectly level, yet cutting through the tense silence of the store. "I'm at Fairfield Market on Elm Street. I need you to come down here. One of your officers has a gun pointed at me for the high crime of comparing pasta prices." The witnesses, a small circle of stunned onlookers, visibly recoiled as the information sank in. A police officer had drawn his weapon on a civilian who was simply shopping while black. A strained silence followed before Deputy Chief Shaw's voice, now utterly transformed from a friendly greeting to a razor of command, came through the line. "Which officer, Kira? Say nothing else. Don't move. I am coming." "Officer Dean Archer," Kira stated, reading his name tag, badge number 907. 7 minutes, Eleanor. Maybe 5 if you hit the lights." Kira ended the call and looked at the rookie officer, whose pistol was now hanging uselessly pointed at the floor. The distant, unmistakable wail of sirens began to bleed into the store, getting closer by the second. "She's coming, Officer Archer," Kira said simply, the weight of the coming confrontation palpable. "And you no longer have the authority you think you do." Archer's mind was a frantic mess. His training, which emphasized control and dominance, was warring with the sudden, terrifying reality that he had just committed an act of blatant misconduct against someone with deep departmental connections. He tried to reclaim his slipping authority. "I don't care who you know. You were acting suspicious, and I'm within my rights to investigate a possible threat." Kira countered with surgical calm. "What, specifically, about my choice between linguine and rigatoni struck you as a possible threat?" The question hung in the air, simple, direct, and impossible for him to answer without admitting his prejudice. The rising sirens were the perfect punctuation to his failure. The store doors slid open, and 2 uniformed officers entered first, assessing the scene. Archer, shaken, weapon lowered. Kira, composed, arms at her sides, and a dozen witnesses, all recording. Then, Deputy Chief Eleanor Shaw walked in. She wore civilian clothes, but carried the unmistakable aura of command. Shaw ignored the other officers, walking straight to Kira. Are you hurt? No, Kira replied. Just treated like a criminal for existing. Shaw turned to Archer, her neutral expression a mask over controlled fury. Officer Archer, holster your weapon. That is a direct order. The sharp click of the pistol returning to its holster was a sound of surrender. Explain to me, Shaw demanded, her voice cutting, why you drew your firearm on an unarmed citizen in a grocery store. Archer stammered. She was acting suspicious. She didn't look like she belonged here. The last 3 words were a confession. Shaw's eyes hardened. Did she commit a crime, Officer Archer? The silence stretched. Archer could not meet her gaze. No, Chief. Did you have probable cause to detain her? I thought she was a threat. You didn't think, Officer Archer, Shaw said, the words heavy. You prejudiced, and now you'll face the consequences. Shaw then turned to the store and the recording witnesses. The woman you see here, she announced, her voice booming with conviction, is Kira Vance, an attorney with the prestigious Aurora Group, specializing in high-level litigation. She's not a threat. She is my friend, and she has been terrorized by an officer who acted purely on bias. Archer's face went white. Shaw didn't give him time to process the magnitude of the revelation. Officer Dean Archer, you are hereby suspended, effective immediately, pending a full investigation into your conduct and departmental training. Surrender your badge and radio to Officer Chun. Archer fumbled to comply, his entire career dissolving into a pile of plastic and metal on the floor. Shaw's eyes, full of pain and determination, met Kira's. Kira, she said, do you want to press charges, criminal and civil? Don't avoid the spotlight to spare him. This has to be bigger than him. Kira looked at the broken rookie, now on his knees, begging forgiveness. She saw panic, not remorse. She thought of all the other black women who would have been arrested, or worse, without an Eleanor Shaw on speed dial. Both, Kira said, her voice ringing out clearly. I want him charged with assault with a deadly weapon and civil rights violations. And I want the city sued for failing to train its officers to see all citizens as human. Her decision wasn't about revenge. It was about reform. It was a clear, unyielding message. Justice in North Haven would no longer be defined by the color of one's skin or the size of a badge. The fight for accountability had just begun.